All right, I want to welcome everyone to our live Saturday morning presentation. As I always say, you should be able to see my screen. If not, let me know. I've got everyone on mute, but as we go through today's presentation, if you have a comment that you'd like to share, please go ahead and unmute yourself. And then we'll also have time at the end of the presentation for your questions. As you can see by my opening screen, we're going to be looking at what's called customer retention. And we want to talk about why it matters. And so to start with, I want to do some things a little bit differently. Maybe this will make sense, maybe it won't. But first, we need to understand what customer retention is. It's pretty simple. It's your ability to retain your customers over time. Adding new customers is important as it allows for your growth of your synergy business, but losing customers offsets your growth. So having a customer retention strategy is important to your business success. And I always come with this question because it's really important if you're going to bring a new distributor onto your synergy business, and this is an important question for yourself too. Why are customers important to your synergy business? You know, if you don't know the answer to that question, then you won't have the imperative to get customers. And bottom line to customers in our synergy business is that they provide the needed cash flow to operate your synergy business. In network marketing, one of the common problems that people have and why they don't stay in network marketing is because of the amount of income that they can make by building their business solely on distributors. So it depends upon what that compensation plan is. They can't build enough distributors to be able to provide the cash flow to keep them into business. Well, in Synergy Worldwide, we have the opportunity in their compensation plan to see the value of having customers, people who are not distributors, people who are solely customers who want to use the Synergy products. And because of those customers, in the way that the Synergy compensation plan is designed, we can create cash flow, which is critically important for you to be able to operate your synergy business and to stay in your synergy business. So here's a hint for you. Decide how much cash flow you need to operate your synergy business. Then use the following formula to determine your needed CV to create that cash flow. Now understand, cash flow is not designed to provide you with financial independence. Cash flow is designed to help you get to financial independence by being able to operate your synergy business on a monthly basis. So when a person says, well, I want $10,000 in cash flow from my synergy business, well, that's not going to be realistic in terms of the number of customers that they would need to do that. That's not what they're looking for in terms of cash flow. What do you need on a monthly basis for the cash flow to be able to operate your synergy business? And once you decide that, then you can use this formula. Amount of cash flow times 4 plus 150 equals the needed CV on your tracking center 1. So what does that look like? Well, understand in the synergy compensation plan, we have what are called elite rebates. Elite rebate is a 25% return on the CV of your Subscribe and Thrive, your personal orders, and your custom orders that are on your tracking center 1 during that month. And that elite rebate, that 25% rebate that you get, kicks in once the CV on your tracking center 1 is 150 CV for that month. And again, every month it resets. So if I want to make $500 per month in cash flow, you know, I look at my synergy business and I say, okay, $500 a month is worth my time investment, is going to cover my costs, and most likely add some extra dollars to my pocket. So if I can create $500 a month in cash flow, what do I need from a CV standpoint to be able to do that? Well, again, the formula is pretty simple. $500 times 4 plus 150. So I need 2,150 CV on my tracking center 1 to create $500 in cash flow. Now, once I know that, Once I know the CV amount that I need to create the needed cash flow, I can begin to figure out how many customers do I need on a monthly basis to be able to create that cash flow. And there it depends upon what you're going to focus on in terms of how you're going to build your synergy business. Now, a lot of us focus on nitric oxide therapy through the use of Synergy's flagship product, ProArch 9 Plus. And although I thought about doing this as part of today's presentation, I chose not to. Part of sales is giving people choices. And I'll most likely build on this a little bit later. Most likely the first Saturday in July, I plan to do a special presentation called Share the Love. And during that presentation, I'll show you how to properly set up a choice with your customers to allow them to make a choice that they want to make, but limit their choices to 2 options. And in those 2 options, they'll decide what is best for them. So in today's example, I'm giving you 2 options on ProArch 9 Plus. The 4-pack, which is $200 plus sales tax and shipping, and it generates 150 CV of volume. So if I'm selling a 4-pack, if I'm going to then have 150 CV of volume every time I sell that to a customer, that means if I take that 2,150 CV and divide it by 150, I need at least 14 customer sales on a monthly basis to achieve the needed CV to generate $500 in cash flow. If I'm doing the Jumbo Jar plus 1, that's $240 plus sales tax and shipping, and it's 170 CV. So I need 13 customers. And again, from a sales standpoint, if I'm giving people 2 options, really, when people see that for $40 more, I can get 90 more servings. And again, I'm going to break this down a little bit more on the first Saturday in July. So people are going to gravitate to one of those 2 choices. Now, understand that that tells you how many customers sales I need per month to achieve that CV volume on my tracking center 1 to generate that $500 in cash flow. But I also got to factor in my daily consumption. What is my consumer's daily consumption? Well, if they're doing the ProArch 9 Plus, typically they're going to do 2 scoops on a daily basis. Sometimes they're going to back down to 1 after a period of time. But let's, for today's example, just say that they're going to use 2 scoops per day. They're going to do 1 serving in the morning, 1 serving late afternoon or early evening, so that they can maximize the benefit of nitric oxide to improve their cardiovascular health through improved blood flow. Well, then that means that if I'm doing a 4-pack and they're doing 2 scoops on a daily basis, then that 4-pack is going to last for 2 months, which would mean that I'm going to need at least 28 customers so that I can make sure that I average 14 customer sales per month. So this begins to help people begin to think in terms of the number of customers that they need to be able to generate the sales, to be able to create the cash flow to operate their synergy business. Now, if I'm doing the Jumbo Jar plus 1, that's 210 servings divided by 2 scoops per day. That's 105 days. So it's slightly more than 3 months, which means then if it takes 13 customer sales to create the needed CV to create my $500 in cash flow, I'm going to need 39 customers to be able to average 13 customer sales per month. Again, it helps me from a mental standpoint to know how I need to continue to create my customers, my new customers, and then it also helps you understand the value of customer retention and the things that you need to do from a customer retention standpoint to maintain those customers, so that as you build new customers, if I'm getting 5 new customers a month and I'm losing 5 new customers a month, I'm not doing real good in customer retention. Now, here's another example, because some people might want to focus on weight management. helping people to trim that waistline. You know, a couple of weeks ago, David Munoz showed us a tremendous video presentation that he did on how he used the meal replacement shake, the Biome shake, to be able to fit into his pants that he couldn't fit into through the gift card that his wife gave him to Men's Warehouse. Now, by implementing the Biome shake on a meal replacement, one meal replacement on a daily basis, he was able to reshape his waistline and be able to fit into those slacks that he bought at Men's Warehouse that when he originally bought them didn't fit, but now fit just great. And so if you're going to go down that route, because of a couple things. One, if I'm doing Biome shake as a meal replacement where I'm replacing one meal per day, that means that they're going to need 2 of those Biome shakes per month. Plus, it becomes an easy subscribe and thrive program for that individual. Now, the CV value on a Biome shake is 30 CV. They're needing to get 2 of them to do a one meal replacement. So that's 60 CV per customer. Again, take that 2,150 CV divided by 60. I need 36 customers. So I think you can begin to see that you're running somewhere between 28 to 36 customers. So mentally, you need to get somewhere between 30 to 40 loyal customers in your synergy business. And so again, this aspect of customer retention becomes extremely important because it's easier to retain your customers, especially over time, than it is to try and continue to build new customers, unless you really want to go to work like a real business where you're always out there promoting, trying to gain customers, but at the same time, you've got to implement customer retention strategies so that you don't lose as many customers in the back end as what you're creating in the front end. You want to retain those customers. Now, for the Biome Shake, given where the new Synergy website is for customers, the Subscribe and Thrive program is just ideal for that, because another way of sales is to be able to help that person once they decide that they want to reshape their waistline through the Biome Shake. You can help them understand that, hey, in the old program, it would have cost you this, but if you decide to do the Subscribe and Thrive program that Synergy just put in place, one, I can save you 10%, and secondly, I can get it to you with free shipping. Wouldn't that make more sense to do the Subscribe and Thrive, especially since you're going to need to replace those 2 Biome Shakes on a monthly basis to continue to have success in reshaping your waistline? You notice I just used the art of asking questions, which is what we just talked about last week. Again, all these things, these skills that we're trying to teach you, they all begin to blend together as you learn how to implement them. So the Subscribe and Thrive increases the probability of your customer retention, especially when you factor in some of the following suggestions I'm going to provide for you in this whole element or aspect of what we call customer retention. Now, there's a great article. This is a PDF that I'm showing you on Tuesday. When the recording of today's presentation goes out, I'll give you a link to this PDF so that you also have a link to this great article on HubSpot called "Here's Why Customer Retention is So Important to Your ROI, Return on Investment, Customer Loyalty, and Growth." And she talks about a lot of stuff in that article. But she comes down finally at the end of her article to these 12 things. Set expectations early and often. Communicate results on a regular basis. Create a roadmap for the future of the relationship. Make memories around your shared successes. Ask for feedback and act on this information. Map out a consistent customer experience. Create a customer relationship marketing strategy. Keep a record of communication and any past problems. Make sure that the customer has a relationship with the entire team. Use reciprocity to increase loyalty, build a customer loyalty program, and empower customers with tools they need to succeed. Now, I'm going to give you, I'm going to, for the rest of today's presentation, I'm going to go through not all 12 of these, but I'm going to go through the ones that I think are the most important of these 12. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on them, not her thoughts. So set expectations early and often. All right. What does that mean? I had to learn this. It took me a long time to learn this, but you'll hear this thing: facts tell, but stories sell. And in my early days of sales in Synergy, I was a fact person. I would share facts. I would share so many facts that I just overwhelmed people with facts. And what I had to learn, even from writing, I had to learn how to create a story, how to create a narrative. So a narrative is a story. And if you can learn how to, what I call, paint a picture, learn how to create a narrative of what they can expect from using the Synergy products. So again, if you talk in terms of nitric oxide therapy, you're able to share the results of yourself and the results of your clients without getting you into trouble with Synergy Worldwide, or if you're posting this online, with the FTC and other people. So always share, especially when you're dealing with Pro Arginine Plus, always paint the picture in relationship to nitric oxide therapy. Because people are always going to finally ask you, if they're going to implement, they're going to ask you, well, what do you do? What product do you use? And then, as we've taught in the past, well, my product of choice is Pro Arginine Plus from Synergy Worldwide. And here's why. Recognized by the medical community, listed in their physician's desk reference for 6 consecutive years. It's a clinically proven product, going to produce higher levels of nitric oxide, do it more rapidly than using L-arginine alone. And it's clinically proven to prevent vascular inflammation, which is the underlying cause of almost all cardiovascular diseases. It has 262 verified quality assurance steps. There's no one in the industry that goes to that level of scrutiny to make sure that their product is always going to give you the same reproducible results. And the nice thing about Synergy Worldwide is you can buy enough of the product in the beginning to make sure that you can have the positive effect that you want. And if for some reason in the first 120 days you don't get your results, then you can return that initial order for a full refund on the cost of the product. Now, you don't see that written down any place. I don't have it written on my desk. It's just that I've done this often enough that it's easy for me to share. Once they ask me, what is my product of choice, I can easily share Pro Arginine Plus and give them the key reasons why that will then resonate with them to say, okay, I'm not going to look at any other products, Dan, let's do this. Now, if they buy, then depending upon where Synergy is at that time in the new website, you can use the Subscribe and Thrive program. And then the other thing is, if they buy, what is going to be your follow-up strategy? Now, I recommend that you use the Share the Love strategy. We've talked briefly in the past about this. Again, the first Saturday of July, I'm going to share the Share the Love program, the one that was created by Mark Comer for the South Korean market. It's extremely successful. And if you do the Share the Love program, that approach, you're going to create customer loyalty. And that is the key. Again, set expectations early and often. And if I'm going to do the Share the Love program, I'm going to tell them exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to then implement that strategy, and that strategy is going to help me create customer loyalty. They're going to be loyal to me, and they're going to be loyal to the product because I'm sharing the love again, we'll go into specific details at that time on the first Saturday in July to help you understand this method, this approach. It's a powerful approach that will help you create customer loyalty, which then helps you with customer retention. Communicate results on a regular basis. Again, this is extremely important to reinforce with your existing customers that people are having success. It also helps you to attract other people through the success that your customers are having. Now, whether you use social media or a newsletter or a combination of both, let people know how your clients are doing. Now, that means that you have to have some level of follow-up with your clients. Share the Love provides that. When people are having success, then get permission to share their success. And then create short videos that highlight the results. Again, word of caution, if you're using ProArginine Plus as your main product, then when you share your clients' successes, share those successes in terms of nitric oxide therapy. Do not talk about ProArginine Plus. Hey, Susan took my advice, decided to implement a nitric oxide therapy strategy to address her high blood pressure. And here's Susan's blood pressure numbers prior to implementing her nitric oxide therapy strategy. Here's Susan's blood pressure readings now that she's been on a nitric oxide therapy for 30 days or 90 days or whatever the period of time is. Wow, what a difference it has made. What a difference nitric oxide therapy has made in her blood pressure. See, if you do it in terms of nitric oxide therapy, you can specifically show information, as long as it's documented information that you're not making these numbers up, you can share that information and you won't get yourself in trouble and you won't get Synergy Worldwide in trouble. And all you're looking to do is use that information to reinforce with your existing client base through your social media or newsletter that they've made a good choice, that there's other people having positive results. Maybe for some reason that they're not getting the results, you offer them the opportunity to call you so you can discuss their program. Or in your follow-up, they see your client's results and they say to you, Dan, I'm not getting the same kind of results. What's going on? You can then work with that person. Maybe they need to change their program slightly. You know, that all comes from having conversations with people. But again, as you share your client's results, it reinforces your existing client base to stay on the product, as well as it becomes a way to attract new potential customers that, again, if you have a customer retention strategy in place, you can begin to convert those potential customers, into clients who refer people to you. Next one, create a roadmap for the future of the relationship. Very simple technique, tool is whenever you have a new customer, even if they get their product through Synergy Worldwide, you've got access to their address. Send them a thank you note with a refrigerator magnet that has your name, your phone number, and your email address on it, so they can put that magnet, and in that little letter you send to them, hey, Joe, thanks for becoming a Synergy Worldwide customer. I know you're using the ProArginine Plus. I'm here for any questions that you have. In fact, I put a little refrigerator magnet. First thing that you need to do is stick it on your refrigerator. And if you have any questions as you're using this product, feel free to call me or email me. And I'm here to help you through, help you through this process and how to properly implement this product so that you can have the best results for you. Again, I made that up on the fly. And again, this all becomes part of your roadmap to create that relationship with your customers. Also, you can set an expectation for you to follow up with them. And in that expectation, in the front end, you can say to a person, you know, I've had success in helping a lot of people that have the same issues that you do. And what I've found is that when people see such improvement in their health, they want to share their successes with others so that we can help other people improve their health. If you feel comfortable, first off, we've got to implement the product. Secondly, you've got to see whether this product really truly helps you. But third, if it does help you, would you be willing to share your results so that other people can benefit? And again, it's a process of setting the expectation in the front end of your conversation with people as you're helping them implement the product to help them gain the success that they're looking for, so that if they say, yeah, I'd be willing to do that, then again, in your note taking, we'll come to this in a little bit, you can have that there so that when you do your follow-up and they've had success, you can come back to them and say, hey, we had talked in the beginning that if you had success, you'd be willing to share that. Do you still feel like you would be willing to do that? Again, that's asked as a question, which gives them the opportunity to say yes or no. Typically, they'll still say yes. And then you can leverage their success in a testimonial to leverage other people, existing clients, to stay on the product and potentially attract new people to you to get on the product. Ask for feedback and act on this information. Open yourself up to their feedback. Don't look at feedback as being a bad thing. You want their feedback. Ask your clients how you did in helping them achieve their results. Was there anything that you could have done to improve their results? Improve the communication with them? Whatever it might be, and listen to their answers. Because maybe there's something in their answer that would help you improve your communication process or implement a strategy. I'll give you a good example. I had a long-term customer who got product from me every month and then didn't order for a period of time. He finally called me and he kind of chewed me out. He said, you know, I couldn't find your phone number. Well, instead of saying, well, look, I sent you a refrigerator magnet. You know, the product has my label on it with my phone number. Instead of doing that as an answer to him, because he didn't look, he went to my website. And my phone number is at the bottom of my website. So I just listened to him. And what I did is I implemented a strategy where at my website, when you go to Dan Hammer Health, there's a yellow up at the top of the website. So it's always going to show up first when they load the website. In yellow, it has my contact phone number. So there's no way that a person who goes on my website could ever not know how to contact me. I implemented that by listening to my customers' feedback on a negativity that they perceived that maybe I could have justified to say that, look, you know, I sent you a free refrigerator magnet. Every box that you get from me has my phone number on it. But rather than get into that discussion, I listened and learned and added a simple step to my website that took away that objection and improved the visibility for people to get a hold of me. So again, ask for feedback and act on that information, and then you can see whether that helps you to increase your customer retention. Map out a consistent customer experience. You've got to design your customer retention strategy. You know, this is a series of questions that I have for you. You have to decide what you're going to do from a customer experience, but you need to have your strategy mapped out. Are you going to use the share the love approach? Are you going to create videos that share people's results, their client testimonials? Are you going to have a client newsletter that keeps them informed? Are you going to send them reminders like a thank you card or a birthday card or a Christmas card? You know, what are the little touches that you're going to do outside of the initial period of time that you start a person on a product to help keep them informed and keep in touch with them so that you can continuously harness a positive customer experience with them? You have to decide that. How much work are you going to go into? Have your strategy and then implement your strategy with each one of your customers. Keep a record of communication and any past problems. Use some type of contact management tool. Some people use their computer, contact management. Some people use their phone. I'm a paper guy, so I use a paper system. You know, I have, you know, I look over to the left in my office here, and I've got all my red file folders, or I should say red notebooks, and inside those notebooks are all my customer records. And so when a customer calls me, I can easily pull the right book, open up to their page, and I can see their order history from me, any things that we talked about. Again, it just helps you to track your communications with them. It helps you, you know, whenever you have a conversation with them, at the end of that conversation, make a brief summary of your conversation, write down the successes as well as the challenges that you have with that individual, because it helps refresh your memory when you go to talk to them, especially if you're doing if they have a challenge and you're doing a follow-up. You know what the challenge is, you know what you suggested to them to overcome that challenge, and then you can see whether that suggestion actually worked or not. Build a customer loyalty program. Well, Synergy Worldwide is supposed to release their customer loyalty program. They say by July. We'll see if that actually happens. It'll be sometime this year. Once that customer loyalty program is in place, then you can decide if you think that loyalty program is valuable. And if it is valuable, then call each one of your customers. So if you've got 30 customers, let's say, you know, we go back to our example at the beginning, and you need somewhere between 30 to 36, 40, let's call it 30 to 40. Let's take the average of 30 and 40 at 35. So if you got 35 customers, then call one a day for the next 35 days. If you don't want to call on weekends, then you call one a day, Monday through Friday. If you don't want to call on Friday, then you call maybe two a day, Monday through Thursday. And let them know about the customer loyalty program and how they could benefit from it. And create a video that helps your client understand how to use the program. You know, I'll do a video once the customer loyalty program is in place and Synergy has the back end office of their Subscribe and Thrive, where they can pause it and all the other features that are supposedly coming. Once that's in place, I'll do a video for it. If you want to use that video, fine, or create your own video. But then that helps your client know how they can utilize the loyalty program for their best benefit, as well as sharing with others. And that loyalty program is going to save them money and help them become even a more loyal customer to you, as well as help you then increase your customer base to add more customers to your tracking center one, which then increases your cash flow. So it's a win-win-win situation for everyone. And then the last thing I want to talk about, and then we'll open this up for any of your questions or comments, is empower customers with tools they need to succeed. There is so much that you can do in this area. Again, it's part of your customer retention strategy. So if nitric oxide therapy is your marketing strategy, if you go to our Synergy Family website and you click on the tab for nitric oxide therapy, which takes you to the marketing page for that, there are so many videos on there. New videos that I've put up, as well as old videos that we have. You could easily send one video a month for the next 24 months and not repeat anything. And again, it's all part of your customer retention strategy, whether it be on social media or your newsletter, or some of the things that David does from the BombBomb marketing strategy that he showed us a couple of weeks ago. You know, hey, came across this great video on nitric oxide therapy. It applies to people who have high blood pressure. If you don't, but you know a family member who does, watch the video, and if you see value in it, send it on to your family and friends that are suffering from high blood pressure. Hey, great video that I just came across that talks about how nitric oxide therapy addresses diabetic complications. If you're pre-diabetic or diabetic, or if you've got a family member that's dealing with those issues, then here, watch this video. If you find value in it, then please pass it on. Be part of this Million Lives Project, where we can help other people find natural ways to address their cardiovascular health concerns. Again, I don't have a script in front of me. I'm just making this up as I'm talking, because that's just how it works. You know, you need to take those strategies, and you can have a template that you can then plug in the next video that you're going to share. Or if you're doing the meal replacement, if that's your marketing strategy, then share a new shake recipe each month. Hey, my client just shared with me the blueberry burst. I tried it. Wow, what a taste sensation. Here's the recipe. If you decide to try it, let me know what you think. Got a special recipe that you're doing? Share it with me. I'll try it. If it's good, I'll pass it on to the rest of my clients. And so again, you could have a new shake recipe each month that gives them a different way of making their shake, gives them some variety, but still keeps them doing 2 biome shakes on a monthly basis to do their 1 meal replacement plan. So with that said, do I have any questions from anyone or comments from anyone with regards to what I shared with you today? You'll have you're muted. Yes, Timothy.
You challenged me to give you a feedback. If you go back to the list, we're going to 12. Number 10 is what I use to create loyalty on both sides. In this program, I mentioned that when Immune Booster came out, I virtually gave away all of the benefits of them. And one customer used to take 48 boxes, 28 boxes a month. It was a company who take the boxes and share them to the employees. So I give them a couple of boxes of that. What I'm going to say now is not applicable to our distributors, our main, our group. But there are other distributors in Barbados who deliberately and constantly undersell each other. So they go in and undersell. Although I am doing my part of loyalty, the customer is not doing their loyalty, because for a few pennies less, they will switch from me to them. So what you have said is very applicable to America, but in Barbados, where we are, it is a bit difficult to do many of the things that you mentioned. Yes, letters and videos can work, but some of the products, some of the items that you mentioned is not really applicable to us. And I'm only giving you feedback because you challenged me to give you feedback. Number 10 is my forte in trying to keep my customers loyal. Yes, I'm finished.
Okay, so Timothy, Do you want some suggestions online right now, or do you want me to talk to you personally?
Go ahead.
All right. So I'm going to just use these numbers. Your landing cost is 110 Barbados. It could be less than that, could be more, but I'm just going to use 110. And your sell price is 170. All right. So that's where the fluctuation occurs with other distributors. Some are trying to sell it for more. If they're trying to sell it for less, most likely their landing price is not 110 because they can't get 48 packs in Barbados. So again, work with me on these numbers. If 70 is your sell price and 110 is your cost price, you're making 60 Barbados per box. So come to your reciprocity, increased loyalty. All right. So if I'm making $60 Barbados per box and I sell 10 to that individual over time, that's 600, and I give them a free box. So you could have a simple system. And again, you can make the adjustment that you want. You can have a simple system with them where you send them a loyalty card, and when they buy 10 from you, their 11th is free. Or when they buy 8 from you, the 9th one is free.
I got that down, but when I sell 28 boxes to a company, they get it at wholesale price, which is like 140, 145, 150. So they are benefiting not from an extra box, they're getting it at a wholesale price. I could sell a company for 28 boxes at the retail price, then you could go next door and buy it. I sell them at a retail price, at a wholesale price. So if they're selling it to the employees or giving it to the employees, or the employees buying it from the person who is my contact, they've got a benefit.
Okay. So again, understand I think you used 21 boxes as an example. I could be wrong on what you said, but if my landing cost is 110 and I'm selling it to that company for 145 so that they can give it to their employees for 145, I still made $35 a box times 21. So I still made $735 Barbados.
Agreed, and that was nice for me. But then in come an outsider and say, hey, maybe I could do better than that, and they cut. And the company looking to save $5 a box or $7 a box, and that's it. And I think this is applicable to most Barbadian distributors in our group. It is not our group who is doing it, it's the others, and I'm not going to call any names, it's the other side. Anyhow, I'm only raising this that I use number 10, and it works 50% of the time, and I'll keep using number 10. You're loyal to me, I'll be loyal to you. You buy,
okay.
I give you some sticks extra.
Then that works great. That's part of the customer retention strategy.
Yes, thank you for your advice all along the way today.
You're welcome. Anyone else with any questions or comments before we say goodbye? All right, since I don't hear any other questions or comments, thank you, Timothy, for yours. Everyone
Hey,
have
Dan,
a great...
this is David. I just wanted to say thank you for the great review and the roadmap. It's really great information, something I'll go back and revisit, because it breaks down the process that we could utilize to target how much we want to make per month and how to break it down in terms of the number of touches that we need to do with our customers and repeat business that we need to have to reach our goals. And the way you break it down into easy steps is a great tool. So thanks for that.
You're welcome, David.
David, I too appreciate how you broke it down. It's excellent.
Thanks, Ted.
Thank you too, Dan.
You're welcome, Donald. Thank you.
And Dan, I didn't say this, but I appreciate the program, but not only this, but your programs. Thanks for really edifying us. I use the word us, all of us, every Saturday morning. And I'm aware that this is a not a cure. This is a business or a time you take out to help us. And I really appreciate your loyalty to us every Saturday morning.
Yeah, thank you, Timothy, and understand that what you shared with me is a business challenge, and that's what business is all about, is how do you overcome the challenges that are in your business? And always feel free that if you've got, we can talk on the side. You can give me a call through WhatsApp and we can talk. And again, what I'm sharing with you with regards to customers, when people present to you, a customer presents to you a problem, if you want to retain that customer, you got to figure out a solution to their problem so they can have success. It's the same thing with your distributors. If your distributors are having a problem, let's say that they're not creating any cash flow in their business. Okay, do you have any customers? No, why? Should I get customers? Yeah, customers create cash flow. Then you can help them decide whether they want to put in the time and effort to create the cash flow that they need. So Timothy, in your case, Barbados is a little bit different because again, network marketing doesn't work well in Barbados, but customers do. So we can look at your numbers and find out, okay, from a strategy standpoint, what can you take less to be able to maintain all your customers without them being undersold, and at the same time create the cash flow that you want to create for your synergy business in Barbados that is worth your time and effort. So again, without having a personal conversation with you on that, there might be some other strategies that we can use that will help you in that situation. So we can always talk by WhatsApp.
I got that. Thanks very much.
You're welcome. All right. Anyone else before we say goodbye? All right. Enjoy your weekend. Take care, everyone. Talk to you next Saturday.